Alright, so taking a look at our last example of a table of values, we are again going to use the same function as before, so that's nice. And this time we're going to take a look at a table of values approaching 3. So notice how as the x's are filled in, we have certain values that are smaller than 3 and certain values that are bigger than 3, but we don't necessarily know the value at 3. Notice though, hopefully, that the value of 3 would be undefined somehow, because that would make the denominator 0. So 3 is kind of an interesting point to analyze because it makes the fraction undefined. The question is, do we have a whole at that point or an asymptote? So we're going to use the table and limits to help us answer that question. Again, the graph is at the bottom, but just for a moment, pretend you don't have it. That way we can kind of confirm that the graph is validated by this table of value. So on your calculator, it's the same equation as before, so we don't have to worry about typing that in. You may have the same values in your table as previously, so you can go ahead and select those values and just hit the delete button, and it should clear all those out. But just like the last example, I want you to take the time and plug in these x values to see what the function would give us as a y value. Alright, so again, to kind of save some time, these are the values that I got. Make sure you can get the same ones though. Alright, so let's check out these limits. As the x values approach 3 from the left, so in our table of values, we're going to get closer to 3 from the left-hand side. We want to analyze what this function is doing, meaning what are the y values approaching. So as we get closer to 3 from the left, notice how the y values are getting increasingly more negative. So it looks like we are approaching negative infinity. However, on the right-hand side, as we approach 3 from the right, the y values seem to be getting increasingly larger, meaning we are approaching positive infinity. So the question is the graph validated by the table? Let's go ahead and check it out. So here is what looks like to be a vertical asymptote at 3. Okay, it's undefined, so that's definitely checking out how 3 made the bottom 0. And if we take a look at the left-hand side, as we approach 3 from the left, we increasingly get more negative, which we can see from the table. And as we approach 3 from the right, we get increasingly larger, which we can also see from the table. So how is the table related to the graph? We could say that the graph is validated by the table because the left and right sides of 3 approach either positive or negative infinity, depending on which side you're looking at. So notice how as we approach 3 from the left, we go down, we approach 3 from the right, we go up, and we can see the same concept from our table of values. As we approach 3 from the left, we go down, and as we approach 3 from the right, our numbers go up.